A few weeks ago, I posted a question on my YouTube channel asking, what defense do you guys have the most trouble with? 50% of you answered any pressing or trapping defense. 50%. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can break any full court press, whether it's a man-to-man or a zone press. So stay tuned. Before we get to the press break, I'm going to go over what a press is, the press break goals I set for my team, and some zone press basics. Skip ahead to this timestamp if you want to get straight to the action. So what is a press? A press is when your opponent applies full court defensive pressure designed to make it difficult for your players to advance the ball from the backcourt into your front court. A press is typically applied after your opponent scores a made basket or if you have to inbound the ball along the baseline in your backcourt. The goal of any press is to force turnovers through errant passes, steals, and design traps. Presses can be either man-to-man or zone. I'm going to show you how to beat both. It's always great to give your players clear targets or goals to achieve for your press breaks. Our first goal is to inbound the ball safely. We need to advance the ball into the front court and don't turn the ball over. If you succeed in achieving these three goals, you'll have successfully broken your opponent's press. Fast break opportunities off press breaks are wonderful, but they're a bonus. I'm deliberately making this point because sometimes players will achieve the first three goals and then end up turning over the ball looking for a fast break opportunity that really isn't there. Now let's go over some zone press basics. Here we're inbounding the ball after our opponent makes a basket and we're going in this direction. We read the zone press from the closest defender to our inbounder to the defenders towards our basket. Here the defense is set up in a 1-2-1-1, also known as the diamond press or diamond and one press. This is probably the zone press you're likely to come against most often. A good strategy in knowing how to overcome your opponent is to learn their tactics. Check out my video number 25 if you want to learn how to run this press. This is a 2-2-1 zone press setup. And this is a 1-3-1 zone press setup. Most zone presses are designed to force the offense to bring the ball up the court along the sidelines and prevent you from bringing the ball up the middle. This strategy seeks to take advantage of the sidelines and half-court line as additional defenders. And because it forces you to advance the ball away from the middle, it often looks to trap here along the sidelines, forcing a 5-second held ball, 10 seconds in the backcourt, or just bad passes and turnovers. Alright, this is how to break any zone press. I like to have either the 4 or 5 player take out the ball to increase the number of ball handlers for our press break. The other players are lined up above the free throw line extended. Our 1 and 2 players are at the elbows, and our 3 and 5 players are outside the 3-point line. This is where the name 1-4 or 4 cross comes from. The 1-4 setup has the advantage of numbers against any zone press in the backcourt. Here's a look at the 1-2-1-1 or diamond press setup. Against any zone, you'll always be able to inbound the ball to your 1 or 5 player or to your 3 or 2 players on either side. There aren't enough defenders in the backcourt to prevent us from inbounding the ball. The same is true against the 2-2-1 zone setup, not enough defenders to prevent inbounding the ball, and also against the 1-3-1 zone setup. These principles will work against any zone press coverage. But for illustrative purposes, I'll put in the most common 1-2-1-1 zone press. Our first look is to inbound to our 5 player. Once the ball is inbounded, our 5 player is going to turn and look down the court. Our first look is to our 2 player, making this diagonal cut towards the sideline. If that's not open, our second look is to our 1 player cutting to the middle. While this is happening, our 3 player is going to fill the opposite lane down the far sideline. If we get the ball to player 2 here on the first look, our 1 and 3 players will fill the lane and we should have a 3-on-1 or 3-on-2 fast break opportunity. From here, you can either attack from the wing or get the ball to your 1 player in the middle. Once you get past the frontline defenders in a zone press, you'll often find that you have the numbers advantage on a fast break. I always like attacking from the middle in a fast break. It opens up both sides of the floor and makes it harder for the defense to guess which side you're going to attack from. Now let's see what happens when our first option is covered. We simply hit our 1 player on the second cut across the middle. Remember, with 4 offensive players in the backcourt, we will always have a numbers advantage in the backcourt against every zone press. A good pass fake to player 2 can often shift the defense and get player 1 more open. Don't hold the ball for too long. The defense is looking to trap you, so pass the ball up the court to break the press. Once we get the ball passed to player 1, we can attack from multiple angles. Remember, get past the frontline defenders in a zone press and you'll have the numbers advantage on a fast break. Your inbounder is free to run the length of the baseline only after a made basket. Teach your players never to inbound the ball under the basket or risk hitting the backboard on a long pass. Practice running this play from both sides of the floor. The options are the same: inbound to your player closest to the sideline and look down the court for open players. Getting the ball to the middle of the court allows the fast break to attack from both sides or straight down the middle. If you score enough fast break points while your opponent is pressing, they're likely to call off their press. If for some reason the defense overplays the inbound pass to your 3 or 5 player, look to inbound the ball directly to your 1 player and you're off in a fast break situation. So that was how to beat a zone press. Now let's move on to a man-to-man press break. Hey, we're about to jump back into the video, but I have 2 quick questions for you. Do you want to increase your influence with your players? Do you want to maximize your limited practice time without losing the fun? If you said yes to those, then mastering time is key. Doing a practice time audit showed me exactly where my practice time was going and where it was being wasted. Animating my plays, like the one you're watching now, is the only thing that gave me more time to practice and be more intentional about connecting with my players. As a young coach, I spent so much time thinking about what's going to make the biggest impact on the next game. Is it going to be defense, ball handling, passing, offense, and inbound play? Experienced coaches know that when you have trust and connection, that actually impacts and raises everything else. And those 2 things require time. If you're ready to tackle both, check out the resources that I've created in the description below. If you like this, leave a like. If you like the content, please subscribe. Now, back to the video. So what's a man-to-man press? Well, this is a defensive tactic that extends the entire length of the court. It differs from when your opponent is simply matched up in that the pressure is often designed to get the ball away from your best ball handlers and tries to force you into bad passes and turnovers. Now let's go over how to break the man-to-man press. I like to have either the 4 or 5 player take out the ball again to increase the number of ball handlers for our press break. The other players are lined up above the free throw line extended. Our 3 and 5 players are at the elbows and our 2 guards are outside the 3-point line. It's a similar 1-4 setup like our zone press break. Now let's put in our defenders. Let's assume that their full court pressure is aggressive because hey, if it weren't, you probably wouldn't need to run a press break to advance the ball. The first action will be screens by our outside guards. It's important that the screeners position the screen so that the initial movement by our players coming off them looks like they're going to be going towards the ball. After the inside screens are set, our 3 and 5 players will fake towards the middle, then curl around the screens and break down the court along the sidelines looking for the ball. This is the first look for our inbounder. If either player has beat their defender down the court, our inbounder should be able to make this long lead pass over the defenders and in front of our players streaking down the court. You'll be surprised at how open this first look will be. If you score off this look 2 or 3 times, your opponent's likely to call off their full court press. Be sure to practice looking at both options down the court. The point that your inbounder should determine whether or not to throw that long pass begins when observing the defense at the first screen. If the defender gets caught behind the screen, that's the moment to decide to throw the long pass. Now, what happens if both long passes are covered? Our 1 player will set a screen on 2's defender, then roll towards the ball. Our 3 and 5 players should continue down the court along the sideline to bring their defenders with them. After the second screen is set, player 2 will cut towards the ball, and player 1 will roll off the screen and also look for the ball. Here's a look at the play slowed down a bit. After the second screen is set, we should be able to inbound the ball to our 1 or 2 player. If we inbound to player 2, we can hit our 1 player flashing to the middle or try and beat our defender off the dribble down the middle of the court. If we pass the ball to player 1 flashing middle, our 2 and 4 players will fill the outside lanes and allow our 1 player to bring up the ball. And we can always look to inbound the ball directly to player 1. If that happens, our 1 player should try and beat their defender off the dribble and up the middle of the court, while players 2 and 4 fill the outside lanes. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this, leave a like. If you like the content, please subscribe and hit that bell notification because it helps out the channel a ton. I hope you'll give these 2 press breaks a try. I always love seeing a video of you guys in action, so feel free to email or DM them to me. There's a lot more plays you can check out on my channel. Review this play again, share it with your team, and I'll see you right away in the next video.